You guys ready to keep going? Yeah, let's do this. So we said again, right? Power speaker, story, sub-communications, and structure. These are the three keys. This is like the foundation that we make it happen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover sub-communications first, and then story, and then structure. Okay, so let's start with sub-communications. So why do they matter? Why do sub-communications matter? Why does it matter that you learn how to truly unleash yourself as a speaker, as a communicator? I'll tell you this, and I want to hear from you guys. When I was younger, right, if you follow my dating stuff back in the day, you've heard me tell stories. I was very shy. I was very reserved. Growing up, I was very shy. Raise your hand if you felt shy growing up. Keep your hand up and look around this room and notice how every other hand is raised, almost. All right? Very, very interesting. Notice, like, most people think, at least when they were young, we think we were shy. We may have been, we may have not been. In fact, if I asked your friends from middle school if you were shy, they'd probably be like, no. Right, they'd probably be like, no. Like when you were doing this demonstration over here, you were like, I can't do it, it's a mental block. And then me and him were both like, we just saw you do it. How weird is that? He literally goes, I have a mental block, I can't do it. And we're like, dude, you just did it. Like you did it, and then you're like, I can't do it. We're like, no, we saw you do it. So can you do it? Yeah, right, totally. So I was very, very shy growing up. My aversion pattern to like avoiding people and all this stuff was I spent time in a gym playing basketball, right? And I became obsessed with basketball. Now I spent 8 hours a day in the gym playing basketball. I played college basketball, so it worked. But I was very bad socially. I was very shy around the opposite sex, like all that stuff. And for me, like the big thing I had was just authenticity. That was like the thing I wanted more than anything else. I wanted to feel authentic with people. I always felt like, yeah, I'm holding back, yeah, I'm shy. I wish I could just say the things that I wanted to say, the things that I felt without holding back so much. And I looked at my friends in college and I was like, they seem to they're not shy, but they're lying. Like they're not lying on purpose, but everyone is talking about shallow shit that no one cares about. And I'm like, why the fuck are we wasting our time talking about this dumb shit? Who here just hates small talk? He's like, let's talk about the real shit. Yeah, right, we all want to go deep. We all want to go deep. So that was like my internal drive, my internal motivation for wanting to be unleashed, for wanting to master my sub-communications, for me, right? And I think about it like this, like if you, like here's the thing, right? And again, I speak totally honest with everything, right? I love Dan Fleischman. Like he said he'd speak at any event for me. I would do anything for that guy. I really, truly would. As a speaker, was it really, really useful, the information he shared? Yes, right? Is it gonna help you? Yes, right? Do you, like, are you emotionally gonna remember how he made you feel when he was up here though? Yes. Couple no's, couple yeses, right? Why? The lack of presence. He is, I mean, we can talk about like archetypes and body types and character structures and stuff. Look at his character structure, right? You can tell this is a very above the shoulders guy. Could you guys tell that? A very analytical person, very like alarmingly intelligent, like way smarter than I am, right? Way smarter than me. But the impact isn't quite there as a speaker. So, and that should, by the way, should just go to show you, like, you don't need to be Tony Robbins or Jason Capel to get booked on stages. You don't need to have all this impact and energy. Dan he speaks way more than I do. 40 times in Q1 in 2019, 40 times in 90 days. What do you say, 140 in the last 18 months? You guys are like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, that sucks. You know how much traveling he does? He's always traveling, right? So, but it should go to show you, you don't need to like be at the super high unleashed level to start speaking everywhere. Right? Even just a little bit can make a humongous difference. And in fact, like with Dan, I would love to spend like a couple hours helping him with his sub-communications because I think it would just take him to the next level as well. All right, so like the way I think about it is you can give the audience a paper cut or you can steal their heart. All right, I would prefer to just rip their heart out of their chest, okay? In the best way possible, right? I want to reach them there. That's where I want to reach them, on a deep emotional level, right? I don't want to be paper cut guy, I want to be heart guy. That's where real change happens. You guys agree with that? Yeah. When you reach people in their heart, that's when like presence, gratefulness, and shifts can happen. Yeah, right, that's where it happens. So why do you want to get unleashed? Why do you want to get unleashed as a power speaker? Why do you want to master your tonalities and your body language and your eye contact, your why? Yeah. You want to command more respect. I can tell. How can I tell? You guys know that your intentions are always coming through, right? There's an old saying in personal development, it's the self is always coming through. Said differently, your intentions are always coming through. Like the thing that you want, even if you're trying to hide it, it's written all over you. It's written in the clothing that you're wearing, in your body language, in the way that you're saying. It's written everywhere. I can tell you want to command respect because of the way that you dress, right? You wear a suit because you know people respect suits. There's nothing wrong with that. I wear a crazy Asian Gucci jacket because it's shiny, right? And I know shiny things attract attention, and I need attention, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying, I can read you. I want you to start doing this to other people, right? And what's the number one way to command respect from other people? Is it a tie or is there a different way?
Your message.
Show them you respect them. That's the way to get respect is to give it. Guaranteed. We're going to talk about that when we talk about how to start a talk, because that's really important. We get to structure. Yeah, what about you? Why?
To start movements.
To start movements. What are some of the most powerful movements of all time? Let's put like morals and values and subjectivity out of it. Just looking at it coldly, what are some of the biggest movements of all time? Hitler, okay.
Civil rights.
Who is it?
Civil rights.
Civil rights movement, yep.
Moses.
Moses. Martin Luther King. Donald Trump. So, are there any more we missed?
Feminism.
Women.
Yeah, feminism, the women's rights, okay. What else? But I'm thinking of leaders, like person leading the movement, like a one person, a cult of personality almost. Oprah, totally. All right, so we have Trump, Oprah, Hitler, and Martin Luther King. Can you imagine them at dinner? For them at like Mastro Steakhouse with a camera, I would watch the shit out of that show.
Jason Capital.
Yeah, Jason Capital, there we go. Right, but those four, right, they all lead movements, yes? What do they all have in common? Speaking, but what about the way that they speak? They impact you on a deep emotional level when they talk, don't they? Like look at Donald Trump, whether you love him or hate him, just think about the words. I didn't say whether you like him or dislike him, I said whether you love him or hate him. Are those strong emotions or weak emotions? Yes, so when you're speaking, just remember that. You want to create strong emotions in your audience. They don't always have to be positive emotions. It might be shame for a second. It might be guilt for a second. It might be just pain for a second, because those are great motivators. But we want to make them feel strong emotions, not weak emotions. When we increase our sub-communications, our body language and our tonality and our energy, we actually are able to impact people on a much deeper emotional level. Look at Tony Robbins. Is he able to impact people on a deep emotional level?
Yes.
He has thousands of people all crying in unison. That's insane, right? So that's what we're looking for here, right? Martin Luther King, same thing. Hitler, same thing. Even Oprah, right? You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, right? Okay, why else? One more. Why sub-communications? Why unleashed? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, to be able to influence my loved ones and the people that I care about better.
Yes, to be able to influence people you care about better. Yeah. Totally. Right. Raise your hand if you agree with that. Perfect. All right. So what I want to give you are the 5 principles to do this. All right, the 5 principles that really serve as like what needs to happen for you to be unleashed as a power speaker with your sub-communications. All right, we're going to talk about each one. We're going to do a little demonstration, a little exercise with each one. So the first principle is that tonality is destiny. All right, tonality is destiny. So what do I mean when I say that? I mean that we have conversations 7 days a week. We're speaking to an audience, our tonality matters. We're speaking on camera, our tonality matters. You're selling on the phone. Does your tonality matter, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. And every fucking second that you are talking, you're either getting more buy-in or you're losing them. Every second. Now there's this really weird thing in the brain. There's a doctor named Dr. Daniel Kahneman. He won a Nobel Prize, wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. He's a behavioral economist. Amazing book, it's like a textbook. If you want to read it, Thinking Fast and Slow, it'll teach you all about heuristics and biases and things like that. It took me like 2 months to read this book. It's a heavy book. But they asked him, you won a Peace Prize in this stuff, like, what is the one thing about the brain, the one mistake people make with their brain, that if you could sum up your entire 40 years of research, what would it be? He said, what you're thinking about in this moment is not as important as when you're thinking about it. Right? What you're thinking about in this moment is not as important as you think it is when you're thinking about it. Let that sink in for a second. What you're thinking about in this moment is not as important as you think it is in the moment that you're thinking about it. Meaning, when you are focusing on something, when you're thinking about something in this moment, because you are thinking about it, you are overweighing its importance in the moment. When you're not thinking about it, it's not worth as much. When you are thinking about it, it's worth more. In other words, attention equals value. Does that make sense? Yeah. I see some confused faces here. It's a very abstract concept. That's why I want to hammer it in. Attention equals value. He was saying that, for instance, you date someone for 6 months, and then they just leave you. In the couple weeks after, do you think about them a lot? Yeah. Do you think about them even more than you did when you had them? Yeah. Right? And because you are thinking about them so much after they leave you, attention equals value. You actually overvalue them. They haven't changed. Your perception of them changed because you started thinking about them more. Does this make sense? Yeah. Click, click. Anyone still not sure on this? I want to this is a really important point. Yes?
What if we could relate that to Renee's beliefs? If you're ready to do something, but in the moment.
If you're thinking about it, in the moment you're thinking about it, you're making it a bigger deal than it is. That limiting belief is nothing. It's just the more you think about it, the bigger it gets. So instead of not thinking about it, you just fucking do it. And you realize it was nothing in the first place. Got it? So what he's really saying here is attention equals value. Right? Attention equals value. So as a speaker, as a persuader, the more attention you can have on yourself when you are speaking, what does that do to your value? It goes up. You think that matters? Yeah. Yes, it matters so much. Value, status, we can interchange these words. They're almost the same thing. All right? Now, if your tonality isn't really, really good, do you lose their attention? What happens to your value then? It goes down. My ability to hold your attention more than anything else is based on my tonality. So there's going to be 4 things. What's in it for me? This is the second one. Okay? Is my tonality. When I say it's destiny, I mean you're always talking, you're always communicating, and if I can keep holding their attention, my value keeps going up, everything gets better in my life. More sales, more impact, more followers, more brand, more influence, everything. So if I don't master my tonality, I will never be able to do the things that I want. Is that clicking? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So how do we do this? Right? What do we do? In about 20, 30 minutes, we're going to go over different tonalities. You guys are going to practice them. I'm going to show you. There's 8 key ones that we're going to focus on. All right? The one thing I want you to remember about tonality right now is this. All right? More tonalities equals you are more interesting. Less tonalities equals less interesting. More tonalities equals more interesting. Less tonalities equals less interesting. So over here, I'm going to put super interesting, the most interesting you could possibly be, and I'm just going to put boring down here. Okay? Again, more tonalities equals more interesting. Who is someone that you think uses a ton of tonalities and is super interesting when they speak?
Corey Taylor.
Who's it? Tony Robbins. Who'd you say?
Corey Taylor.
Don't know him. I know that guy. Okay. I'm sure he's great. I just don't know him. Did you have one? Who is it?
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. Sure. Right? So TR, Tony Robbins. I'll put RB. Russell Brand. Who else? Who? Jim Rohn. Yeah, Jim Rohn sings. You have to read the books. He sings. It's great. Get your library card. Yeah, right? And yeah, you said me, right? I'll put myself somewhere there. Cool, right? So what about boring? Who is someone that you know that uses one tonality all the time from a movie in the 80s about a teenager who skipped school for one day? Yes. What was his name? The teacher.
Copley.
I don't know Mr. Cole. Ben Stein. Remember Ben Stein? This is Ben Stein down here. You don't want to be Ben Stein. Say, no Ben Stein.
No, Ben Stein.
Good. Ben Stein is Ferris Bueller's teacher, and he's taking attendance, and he goes on the list. Bueller. Yeah, he just keeps saying the name and the same. And he's monotone. One tonality, one cadence, one volume level. Nothing ever changes. So we call that boring. Right? People think to be interesting, you need to have all these interesting stories. No. I could be interesting talking about nothing. Have you ever noticed that this cloth here, feel that? It feels a little bit different. And when you touch it right, like you're already like, what is happening? Right? There's nothing, like, it's about tonality. He was like leaning in. He's like, what is with this thing? I didn't even notice it, right? So up here, put this in a different color. This is where they're using more tonalities, and here is less tonalities. That's the whole difference. This is the whole difference. Again, I've been hacking away at this shit for 11, like that is the whole difference right there, is the tonalities. Anyone here ever watched like some of my videos and like time passes and you don't even know how, and like, I'm like standing with a wall behind me just talking and like 15 minutes go by and you're still super engaged and then TV shows bore you. It's the tonalities that keep changing. The reason being, when we're monotone, your brain is always looking for patterns. Once it recognizes a pattern, it goes, great, I know this pattern. Now I don't have to watch it anymore. It's a survival instinct. Once I know the pattern, I know that's not going to kill me, so I can ignore it now. But if I don't know the pattern, it's always changing on me. I can't ignore it. And if you can't ignore something, what do you have to do? You have to pay attention to it. You're literally forcing the audience to pay attention to you because their brain is like, their 2 million-year-old brain is like, is this going to kill me or not? And it's just tonalities. Right? Are these tonalities going to kill me or not? It can't relax, not in the way it wants to. So it has to keep listening. Every time I change my tonality, your brain shifts. I reset your attention. I don't have to be all like super dramatic about it, but I can be if I choose to want to be. And other times I can be just a little more hypnotic and I can just talk in a certain tone and keep looking at you and talking to you, and as your hand touches the ground, I want you to notice that now is the time for you to become a power speaker. But really, if I go loud enough, I reset the attention again. And you're back where you are. Does that make sense? Yeah. More tonalities. Like, is that helpful? Is that helpful? Yes? Okay. So that's number one, right? Tonality is destiny. So what I want you guys to do, everyone stand up. And I want you to we're just gonna shoot the shit with someone. What are we gonna do? Shoot the shit. We're gonna shoot the shit for about 1 to 2 minutes. All I want you to focus on is not what you're saying, just on you changing your tonalities as much as you can. I want you to go overboard with it. I want you to go to the point where you're like, I sound crazy right now because I'm changing so much. I want you to see what it feels like to go past the edge, because truthfully, for most of you, your edge is not far enough. All right, so let's start right now. Change it. Change it. Keep going. Change it. Go louder, go lower. Speak softer, speak louder. Speak faster, speak slower. Change it. Try it again.
So he started from very low to he built it up all the way high. So
Better. Make eye contact. Look him in the eyes when you talk. Focus on him. Eye contact. Eye contact. Good. Eye contact. All right, let's give ourselves some love for that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sweet. What did you notice? What did you learn? Yes.
I feel like it's like caricatures on each other.
Yeah. Like you're multiple characters.
Yeah, it's like you feel like a caricature, like you're in a like.
Yes. Caricature. Yeah, totally. Right. You're like changing characters in the moment. Yeah. Who here noticed as the listener that you were paying more attention when they changed their tonalities? Just raise your hand if you noticed that. Okay. Good. What else did you learn? What else did you notice? Yes.
Your energy skyrockets.
Your energy was much better. Interesting. Did you guys know, I just need to know, does everyone know what an anchor is?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you do not know what an anchor is. You know what it is, trust me. Okay, so an anchor just means, like, you guys ever heard stimulus response? Pavlov's dog? Yes? You heard of Pavlov's dog? You heard of Pavlov's? Okay, Pavlov was this researcher back in the day, and he found that he had dogs, and what he did was he would ring a bell and then give him bacon, all right? Then ring a bell, give him bacon, ring a bell, give him bacon. And then pretty soon what he found was all he had to do was ring a bell, and the dog would run up, salivating, waiting for bacon. So he can make the dog hungry and salivate just by hitting the bell. Doesn't even need bacon anymore. The bell became the stimulus, and the response became salivating dog. Does that make sense? Got you? So that was an anchor, right? An anchor means the trigger, the firing off of the trigger, meaning the firing off of the stimulus. So we have anchors, and we're going to talk about when we build our state and building anchors, right? Like when I go on stage, before I go to speak before an audience, I do something. I ring a bell for myself, and the response every time that I know is going to be there is a certain state, like total certainty and presence and breathing life into people. Like in that moment, that is all I want to do. And I have a bell to put me in there. I created that stimulus. I Pavlov dogged myself. Does that make sense? And you guys have all done it for yourself. You don't even know it. Right? You smell something at a barbecue and it reminds you of a time when you were 8 years old on the 4th of July with your family. Or you hear a song from your childhood and you're brought back to being 12 again. Right? Those are all anchors that were just programmed into you. You didn't control them. Much, much better to control certain ones so you can create the states that you want in your life. That's like a 60-second primer on states and anchors. Tonality is an anchor. Monotone people, do they seem to have a lot of energy? Yes or no? Do you think it might have to do with their tonalities?
Yes.
Literally forcing yourself to change tonalities brings more energy out of you. You ever find yourself tired? Just start talking in different tonalities and you will find, holy shit, I feel better. Your voice brings you out of the fog. It's cool. You noticed that right away. That's awesome. What else did you notice? What else did you learn when we were doing that? Yeah.
You can add emotions to the different part, like whatever point you're trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of fluctuate.
Yeah, totally. Right, you start to embody what you're saying, not just say it. Yeah, what else?
It's more like when you change your tonality, it's more like how you're saying. You could say the same thing, but it's more appealing to somebody if you say it in a more like energetic, more positive way, and it puts you in a better state.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, if you're in a better state, do you think the other person's going to be in a better state? Yes. Yeah. Right. It's called the law of state transfer. We're like the state we're in is always transferring over to others. Right. That's why, like, if you're in a bad state and you don't do something about it, you're actually harming other people, because your state is going to become their state. And if you don't take responsibility for your state, you're harming their state, being a dick to them by not being good to yourself. Okay. Cool. You good? I saw you. You're like, wow, yeah.
I found it really complicated to do conversationally. When I'm endlessly talking, I can do it, like, no problem. But conversationally, it's a lot different.
It's different. Well, the point was also for you guys to go over the edge so you can start, like, we have to go over the edge to find out where the edge is. If you never go past the edge, you never know where it was, right? And this is a safe situation to find out what the edge is for you. That's why we went over, right? So some of you were being a little more animated than maybe you normally would be, and that's fine. It's just for practice. I want you to see what it's like to change tonalities all the time. For you, for instance, this is in my limited scope, the tonalities you would need to work on are different than a lot of people in this room. You have loudness down really well. You need whisper better. You need a better whisper, right? Because again, being loud isn't the secret. If being loud was the secret, everyone would just have a fucking megaphone, right? That's not the secret. I didn't say louder equals more attention. I said the more you change your tonalities, the more attention you get. It's not about loudness or quietness. It's about changing the tonalities more often. Does that make sense? Okay, yes.
I also noticed that the body language I used when I was using different tonalities would change as I
Totally. Yeah. See, that's what, and like, we're going to talk about body language in a second, but just like you had better body language and you weren't even thinking about it just by focusing on your tonalities, right? That's it. Okay. So that's one. Tonality is destiny.